Hi, my name is Shanesterling. Welcome to my YouTube channel. On this channel, we talk about raw food, health, personal transformation, personal growth, detoxification. If these are the things that you're interested in, please subscribe to my channel. I love to talk about these topics because this is the path I'm on. I am on a detoxification journey, a raw food journey. I'm absolutely invigorated by the topic, love to talk about it, and love to share my experiences in case others are looking to improve their life and to get healthy or transition to a raw food diet. So please subscribe to my channel for more topics like this. And this video is going to be about how to quit caffeine permanently and forever. I used to be addicted to caffeine and coffee for most of my life. I have completely quit the addiction. I am completely free of the caffeine addiction at this point in my life. It's one of the best things I've ever done for myself, and it was a gateway decision that led me to other decisions toward health and vitality in my life. And I highly believe in the detoxification from caffeine in our life, and I highly want to support anyone who is interested in quitting caffeine, detoxing from caffeine, and getting on with their life. I have been drinking caffeine most of my life since I was a teenager, probably like most people, starting with coffee. You know, I thought it was cool to have coffee when I was 16, trying to stay up late with friends, going out to, Denny's after live shows and stuff. And you just get, it's part of our lifestyle. It's everywhere. Caffeine is like so common, it's not even considered a problematic aspect of our lifestyle in our culture. So it's everywhere and everybody does it, and it's completely considered normal. However, the dark side of caffeine is that it's highly addictive, it's highly destabilizing, it's highly toxic for our bodies, and really creates an unstable mind, in my opinion. One of the problems I always experienced from caffeine use was that every time I would have caffeine in the morning to wake up, it would set me on this loop, is what I call it. I call it a loop, where I have the same thoughts, I have the same anxieties, I have the same problems. And as I slowly come off the caffeine for the rest of the day, for me, I was only drinking caffeine in the morning. I would come off the caffeine and I'd start to, feel normal again, and lose some of the anxieties and feel capable of taking on my anxieties and my problems and my day. But then the next morning I'd have caffeine and I'd go right back into the same problems and the same way of approaching my problems. That's the thing. That's why it's a loop, because it keeps us in a way of thinking about ourselves and a way of thinking about our problems, that every time you have that cup of coffee, every time you have the caffeine, the tea or the mate or whatever has caffeine in it, we are putting ourselves right back where we started, right back in the same loop. And it does not serve us on a personal path of growth. If we want to transform our lives, become better people, become more of who we're meant to be, we need to get out of the loops, all the loops. We can be in mental loops because of any addiction, any emotional need, like food. People have food addictions, and caffeine and drug and alcohol addictions and sex addictions, and any addiction is going to keep us in a loop. So really we want to break up the patterning to where we can free ourselves from these types of patterns that hold us back. I'm a firm believer in doing that in my life. It has worked wonders. I'm on 100% raw food diet. I have gone through detoxifying cleanses. I've done water fasts. I've done juice fasts. I'm committed to health and vitality in my life. I'm committed to always becoming the best person that I'm meant to be, transforming myself, overcoming my limitations, overcoming my fears, overcoming my self-worth issues and my traumas and all of the bad circumstances and things that have been afflicted upon me throughout my life. And I really believe that quitting caffeine for me was really one of the biggest ones that really helped open the doorway to a lot of the other big ones that have come after it. And once I took on caffeine and started to actually take caffeine out of my life, it led me to raw food. It led me to taking out alcohol out of my life. It led me to kicking sugar. It led me to kicking cooked oils. It led me to kicking all bread and refined carbohydrates and grains. And I have so much health, so much vitality now because of it, that I want to talk about it. I want to share it with other people. If you're thinking about quitting caffeine, if you're struggling with a caffeine addiction and a coffee addiction, and you know you want to get healthier and you know you want to change your life, this is the time. You can do it. I've done it. This is the support. I'll go over a couple points. I've made a little list here of things just to talk about. Okay, withdrawals, headaches, depression, and low energy. So these are some of the detox symptoms you might find when you first try to give up caffeine. And yeah, it's hard. Yeah, it's hard to feel depressive. Yeah, it's hard to feel low energy and make it through the headaches, but it's only a short amount of time. It's only a limited time that is hard. You have to push through. There's ways to support your body in that process. Eat healthy food, eat raw fruits and vegetables, start to build up a healthy body. Depending on where you are in your health journey and what kind of diet you eat, that could mean a lot of different things. But just try to support your body and go through the detox symptoms. You might have to curl up in bed for a couple of days and just withdraw from life, and that's okay if you have to do it that way. I personally went cold turkey. I was drinking caffeine one day and I quit, and I never went back to caffeine. It's been now a couple years for me. I have pretty strong willpower, so I never needed to transition off of it. I didn't wean myself off of it. Cold turkey works for me. I believe if you're really struggling with an addiction, cold turkey can be an effective way to do it. And you just got to have the willpower. You got to have the strength. You got to know why you're doing it. You got to really get into the nitty gritty of your own soul and dig deep on the strength of why you're doing it. And if you know you need to do it, then just do it. Cut it off in your mind, black and white, draw a line in the sand, and don't go back. That's how I do it, and that's what's been effective for me. And don't worry about the withdrawal symptoms because they're not stronger than you. The detox symptoms will come and they will go, but you will remain standing. And your light and who you are and you shining the best person you can be needs to stand up and needs to shine. And caffeine isn't going to help you do that. And no drug and no addiction and no reliance on anything is going to help you do that. Standing in your own emotional freedom is going to do that. Your light will shine when you are free from all the ways that you hold yourself back. And that includes caffeine, that includes emotional eating, that includes toxic foods and junk foods. And I am here in support of getting healthy. And I do it with raw food diet. I'm just referring to my notes here. How long to get over withdrawal symptoms? Well, like I said, I don't know exactly. If you're detoxing off of caffeine, you might be detoxing off of bad food. It could be months and months of detox symptoms to get healthy. For me, coming off of cooked foods and going to a raw food diet, I have had months of detox symptoms. I've been 100% raw about 10 months now. And I would say that at least 3 months, I had very hard detox symptoms, flu-like symptoms, headaches, sneezing, runny nose, achy body, where I want to stay in bed all day and I feel like I'm sick. But I know that I'm not sick because I'm eating raw fruits and vegetables. I've kicked sugar, I've kicked caffeine, I've kicked alcohol. How could I be sick? Well, I'm not sick. I'm building up a strong immune system. My body's flushing the toxins out. My kidneys can only process so much of the toxins coming out of my blood and my lymph system at one time. So if it's an overload of toxins in the body, you're going to get the detox symptoms. And that's okay. It's a badge of honor. Wear it well because you've earned it. So I'm never one to be afraid of the detox symptoms. I'd say take it on, bring it on, let's get healthy, and let's start to really shine our light. One question about caffeine that I saw that I thought was interesting is, do you feel better now without caffeine? 100,000%. I can't believe how good I feel without caffeine. I wake up refreshed in the morning. I feel the same when I get out of bed as I did when I went to bed. There isn't this constant push to get awake and push to get to sleep. I don't have to have that ebb and flow struggle with myself where I'm always trying to get high and then trying to get low. It's a horrible cycle to be in. The alcohol and caffeine cycle was so detrimental to my life. I've completely kicked it out of my life. I'm a big proponent of kicking it out of anyone's life who wants to get healthy, which is why I'm here talking about it. So life at post caffeine has been absolutely miraculous. Shortly after I decided to quit caffeine and coffee, I kind of realized, wow, I felt so freed up that I thought maybe I should try raw food. I turned to raw food, and it has swept me in its complete gifts of vitality and health. I couldn't ever have imagined, I couldn't ever have foreseen that giving up caffeine would have led me through this beautiful doorway into a whole new world of health and vitality. So yes, the answer is life without caffeine is far superior than life with caffeine. So that's been my journey. I just wanted to touch on the topic of detoxing off of caffeine, and that you can do it. I fully believe that it is possible. It is not that hard, even though you have to go through some hard times. It's the most worthwhile thing you can do on your journey to be the better version of yourself. I wish all of our society could kick caffeine and alcohol and toxic food and junk food. If we lived a life where every human being saw the value of their own soul and their own body as a temple, is a temple to contribute to our society, we would be living in a different world. And it's things that are toxic that cause imbalances in our brain and in our hormones, like stimulants, like caffeine and coffee and alcohol, that really keep us limited and keep us away from who we're really meant to be as human beings in our species. Wild animals, the flora and the fauna that are completely in harmony with nature and, connected with God, they do not have caffeine. They do not rely on stimulants. If we were more natural and more in balance, we would have probably an experience, similar to that, where we would be in harmony and balance with Mother Nature and God and our Creator. And unfortunately, we are violent to ourselves. We are violent to each other. We live in an invisible, violent ideology in our civilization, which is terrible and unfortunate. And I see that, from my perspective, I see that caffeine, alcohol, and all stimulants contribute to how we are violent toward ourselves, whether we realize it or not. That's my message. I am here in support of detoxifying the body, getting clear, and shining your light into the world to be who you are meant to be. So thank you for being here on this video today. Thank you for listening. If this is in any way helpful information, please give it a thumbs up. This is a passion of mine. This is a very real topic for me, and I really hope that this gives value to someone who might be viewing this. So please subscribe to my channel if this is something you want to know more about, or if you have questions, or if you want to know more about raw food and detoxification. This is the channel for you. I hope you have a great day. Thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.